In Los Angeles County, there are 1,100 gangs, 86,000 gang members. More than 600 of those gangs would be Latino.
How do you do it?
Somebody has to do prevention, keep kids from joining gangs and engage them and somehow keep them connected to loving, caring adults who pay attention. Kiddo, are you working? Gangs are the places kids go when they've encountered their life as a misery. Kids are going to drift, and misery loves company. I've never met a hopeful kid who joined a gang, never, ever, not once. Kids who can't really conjure up an image of tomorrow move closer and closer to joining a gang. And kids don't seek anything when they join a gang. They flee something. You know, he can't say that both his parents were heroin addicts and have been long dead. That guy can't say that, you know, my mom used to put cigarettes out on me when I was a kid. Or that kid's gonna have a hard time saying that his mom used to hold his head in the toilet and flush until he nearly drowned as a way to punish him. In '92, we started Homeboy Industries by way of Homeboy Bakery because we wanted to create jobs because people weren't hiring these guys. Then each thing was an evolution, you know. As we would progress, we'd discover things. We'd say, boy, there are a lot of tattoos, they really want them off. Nobody's hiring them.
This, I'll go over it with a little bit less strength because it's already scarring. I think you're trying to take it away, right?
Yeah, I burned it up.
So we started tattoo removal. We've removed 1,200 tattoos last year. We have 400 treatments a month. We have 1,600 on the waiting list. This is Roscoe.
Yeah,
How many treatments have you? He just got out of prison. What prison did you just get out of?
Centinela.
Centinela. This place is a touchstone. It's a place where they can come and connect with that sense of resilience. You want to get them to a place where they feel confident in who they are. Because when they leave this place, the world's going to throw stuff at them that's going to knock them for a loop.
I'm 27 years old. I was born in Boyle Heights, Aliso Village Projects. I've been doing drugs and gangbanging since I was a really young kid. Like, some people ask me, you know, well, how was it before you try to remember the guy before you started gangbanging and using drugs and stuff? And when I think back that far, I'm like on roller skates, you know? We'd come down here and ride all over the walls and get into the river on inner tubes and float down the river. It's a little deep, you know? It starts way back. I mean, some of these kids out here don't even know what they're fighting for anymore, you know what I mean?
You start to see how hard it is for people to navigate these waters here, given that enormous gang reality. I came here as a priest in 1984. We had 8 gangs at that time, at war with each other. I buried my first kid in 1988. I buried my 141st a week ago. I lived through a decade of death in this community from '88 to '98. In 1992, we had 1,000 gang-related homicides in LA County. Well, we had 500 last year. That's still horrific, but that's still progress.
I was shot in both legs. Once when I was 14, I was shot right there. It went in and out with a 9mm. When I turned 15, a year later, I got shot once here with a .38 special. I think I was just lucky. Yeah, because he let off the whole clip, but he only hit me once. I think this person that was once a criminal, gangbanger, whatever it was, can change into a productive member of society, man. You know, people change. I feel like Homeboy Industries is my calling. You know, I love to do what I do, and I love to reach out to these kids, you know, because they're all we got. You know, and I don't want these kids going through what I went through. I believe in giving people chances, and I think that's exactly what Father Boyle does. He gives people chances, second chances, third chances, fourth chances, you know, whatever it takes. Forever. I'll never turn you away.
You want to communicate always a no matter whatness. No matter what you do, the day won't ever come when I withdraw love or support or help from you. That day won't ever come.
New Orleans has become a city of broken hearts. That's where the death and tragedy lies. But as you can see, as we interview so many people, there's a lot of rebirth and spirit growing from this tragedy. As a political columnist, I'm sure you've seen a lot here in the state of Louisiana and New Orleans.
New Orleans is a true city of neighborhoods. And that's one of the real tragedies of Katrina, because it decimated so many wonderful neighborhoods. But I think the strength of the city is its neighborhoods. And there are a lot of individuals and neighborhoods and groups literally picking themselves up by their bootstraps. And that bootstrapping is happening at the neighborhood level.
Habitat for Humanity, what do you guys do?
We're been here in New Orleans for about 20 years. After the hurricane, we came up to help facilitate the reconstruction and the rebuilding of the city. And it was so devastated by the hurricane, particularly Katrina, where approximately over 180,000 houses in the metro area were flooded, which is about everything but about 20% of the city. They have to gut their houses, even if you got a foot of water in your house. So you've got a significant problem with people having the ability to come back.
You've got people who want to come back who can't. You got people who are here who don't have good places to live.
Yes, my mother-in-law wishes she was at her house right now. I know she does. She's praying that she come home. We praying for her to come home also. Yes, we are.
In the wake of Katrina, most of the people who are not coming back are the old folks. Those are the ones who just don't have it in them to rebuild one more time.
When she came and saw her house, I saw everything that I needed to see to explain to me I need to treasure my life.
I call it dying of a broken heart. They've seen the pictures and it just broke their heart.
I wonder if it really would come back. I wonder if we really would have our neighborhood back.
What is it like living in a trailer?
You have to do what you gotta do until you get better. You know, we do have somewhere better.
Here in New Orleans, we primarily look at building houses from the ground up. Very volunteer-friendly, impacts the community, help to stabilize the community.
How do you select who gets a home?
It's broadly based off need, ability to pay, and willingness to partner. As you know, they have to put in about 350 hours of sweat equity working on their house.
So the family does too. So it's a real community, collective concept. You learn a lot of skills, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie, we're all explorers here, exploring the Baxter's new home.
We have different floor plans that we use depending on family size.
Here, let's get back in here.
We see that sometimes us starting these houses in a neighborhood helps kind of stabilize the community, and having spoken to various people in the neighborhood, they're like, okay, I'm committed to coming back. There's just been a tremendous amount of outpouring from people from all over the country. The city is so hurt, it's going to take 5 to 10 years. We're still going to need the volunteer help. We're still going to need people coming down and assisting in whatever capacity they can.
So it's going to take a long time. Everybody's saying, okay, this is what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to protect ourselves in the future. We're not going to rebuild in these low-lying areas because we can't protect them, but we're going to make more property available over here, and we're going to give you a hand. We're going to help people raise their houses.
Welcome home. How's it feel?
Feels so great. We can move in.
Thank you, Habitat, and thank you to the Lord that we're still here.
I was shocked to learn that women in the countryside of China had one of the highest suicide rates in the world. Wu Qing founded the Center for Rural Migrant Workers to help women develop their voice and realize they have rights. She's an inspiration to women not only in China, but also throughout the world.
So I went through all the political movements, including Cultural Revolution, together with my people. And that's why I'm working so hard to change the system. I want China to be rule of law and by law, not rule of man by man, which in a way has lasted for over 2,400 years. I think we are laying the ground for democracy and freedom and the political participation at grassroots, it's bottom up. So we are doing all kinds of projects. Women's rights are human rights. So I started to pay more and more attention to the rights of women. Men's places in the outside world, women's place in the home is still prevailing in China, even now. I mean, this is universal, right? But then I think it is stronger in China, especially for rural women. These are not cover girls. They are role models. Role models to women. So this is very important. So through this magazine, in a way, as a vehicle, we started to know the needs and demands of women. Because at that time, our reporters often went to out-of-way places, especially minority areas, just to find out their needs. They told us they wanted to learn how to read and write. So we started our first literacy projects in 1996.
以前女人不能去外面工作，只能待在家里工作，男人们去外面赚钱呀那些。
The most important thing is empowerment. We tell them, you are a human being before you are a girl or a woman. So on that basis, men and women are equal. But I have to work very hard, try hard, and sometimes we have to pay twice the price of a man's, because this is a man's world. If you watch television, see who are there. Men, they are deciding our future. Is that fair? No, that's not fair. Yes. We want to train women with love, social responsibility, with a kind of desire for knowledge, with multi-skills, and to be a global citizen.
主要是做那什么，做我是医生嘛，我想那个医院的条件比现在更好。
With modern technology and IT, everything that happens in one corner of the world will be known immediately, sometimes within a few seconds. I'm not for a separate project for women. I think it's important for men and women to come together so the men will know what women can contribute, right? I think this is important, and this is what we are doing. Because if men and women can work together, this world is going to be better.
In the heart of Costa Rica is Earth University, one of the most unique campuses I've ever visited. Earth stands for Escuela de Agricultura de la Región Tropical Húmeda, or for those who don't speak Spanish, the School of Agriculture for the region of the humid tropics. Earth is a private nonprofit university offering an education in agricultural sciences and natural resources. Its goal is to contribute to sustainable development in the humid tropics. Earth's curriculum is based on 4 pillars: social commitment, environmental awareness, an entrepreneurial mentality, and the development of human values. Sustainability is achieved when balancing these 4 ideals. Each year, Earth selects 100 students from Latin America, Spain, and Uganda. Earth students are motivated to make a difference in their own countries and consequently the world through social and economic development. We met with a few students from Earth University.
This is really a university where one changes a lot in the course of the 4 years.
You can find people from almost everywhere in Latin America and also from Uganda and United States, Europe.
My first impressions about this university is that they are very practical.
Here also we develop so much the love to get our hands on the work. Like some of us, I think we really feel very uncomfortable to just sit there in the office and you're managing things. Me, I have this guts and this zeal to work with the people.
I thought that they gave more practice to students, and I looked at that as an opportunity to learn very well agricultural skills.
Earth seeks to nurture a new generation of agricultural leaders with an emphasis on environmental and social conscience. Probably the most fun part of my job is finding young leaders. Today, I met Juan Pinto, our guide who would walk us through the rainforest. Juan wants to become a conservationist and promote ecotourism in his native country of Costa Rica.
Desde antes de entrar en Earth, me interesaba muchísimo la biología y la vida silvestre. Y qué mejor lugar que la Earth con 1000 hectáreas de reserva para estudiar esto. Este árbol se llama indio desnudo y tiene varias propiedades que lo utilizan como medicinal. Y en Earth lo están utilizando un compuesto químico buscando la cura para el mal de Chagas.
Juan is a future leader. You can feel his passion, especially when he talks about conservation.
Sí, definitivamente, o sea, lo que es la vida silvestre es lo que a mí más me interesa, la protección, la conservación del medio ambiente. De hecho, por eso estudié en Earth, no por ser agrónomo, sino porque creo que las herramientas de Earth es lo que me va a ayudar muchísimo a poder integrar, digamos, a la comunidad, a poder entender, porque muchos biólogos entienden cuál es el problema, pero no la causa.
After graduation, he will dedicate his life to an ecotourism project that integrates conservation, education, and community development.
Yo voy a dedicar mi vida a la conservación, definitivamente. Y creo que tener todos estos conocimientos de base me van a ayudar muchísimo a poder conectarme con las personas, con las que sin las personas obviamente no se va a poder hacer ninguna conservación exitosa.
Earth teaches students how to farm in a way that is in harmony with nature. My favorite project at Earth University was the Animal Compassion Project.
What is today's current practice, and what does Earth University do that distinguishes that practice?
Okay, current practice is that everybody yells, uses sticks, uses electrical probes to move animals. We are trying to teach the people to understand the animal rather than to try to force them to do something he doesn't want to do. You should have been here 9 years ago. You can open your mouth. Flies will go into your mouth. I mean, we were desperate. The problems of flies. For that, we can use EM, which is effective microorganisms. Well, this is what decomposes the wood and everything that falls from a tropical rainforest. We spray this on the floor. What we do is we put a layer of about 2 inches of sawdust, and then we let the cows come in for a month, and they accumulate the manure there on top of the sawdust. And so these microorganisms go and act directly in the organic matter, and they transform that organic matter. This process actually avoids having decomposition of the organic matter. You don't have smell. If you don't have smell, you have fewer flies coming in. This solves the problem 100%. It doesn't smell like manure. Smell it.
Looks like brownie mix.
It looks like dirt, like soil, black soil.
What an experience, the Animal Compassion Project. So here I am, sitting on a 2-ton bull. This bull was more docile than my golden retriever, and I just laid on him and took a siesta. The students at Earth are aware that one of the great challenges in the world today is the preservation of the rainforest with the balance of agricultural development. The sustainable farming practices taught by Earth support entrepreneurship and eco-sensitive agriculture in the developing world. I was introduced to Earth University through a friend of mine named Michael, who's one of the original founders of Whole Foods. During our visit, we learned about the unique partnership between Earth University and Whole Foods Market in the U.S. Many students plan to start their own businesses, creating jobs for people in their native countries.
I am not alone on this earth. I have to help the people who are down here. I have to help my people so that they become better. Because here we learn like things are done in a group. As one person, you cannot really stand. You need the others to be around you to be able to make a better world.
To be successful with the people who is around you.
Part of the agreement is that after graduation, the students will go home and make a difference in their own communities.
That's why some of us, we are thinking, okay, there are very few jobs. Instead of scrambling for those few jobs, we should go out and then you create more jobs where many people can benefit, even the poor, because the idea is to treat them well.
And that's what makes Earth University so unique, is that not only do students learn agricultural practices, but they have to develop their own business plan.
I want to set up a business back home. Then the idea is to do 3 months post-internship in South America. That would be like in a rose farm where I could learn about the production. Then I move to the US where I can learn about the business part. Then I go to Holland where I can learn the market.
For the next 5 years, I would like to study, to keep studying and working. That could be a very good option. And then after probably 5-7 years, I would like to start my own business.
Right after graduation, I'm going to work with a conservation organization.
And so upon graduation, they have a dream in their hand, they go back to their respective countries, and they now try to implement it.
At university is a place where dreams come true.
This is the way to travel for India. Cars are zooming by, but I'm just sitting right on a camel. You strike me as a very intelligent man.
I eat my bread and I know how to ride this camel. That's all I know.
What's the key to living a happy life?
Huh?